I should talk about this more on this channel, but sometimes I do forget. So, you know, the importance of being kind to people. And I know it sounds crazy, but sometimes people need to be reminded of this. I do, all of us do. And this really does coincide with how to overcome social anxiety. Of course, there are many different descriptions over the years that I've given to overcome social anxiety, like face your fears, you know, take action, get comfortable being uncomfortable, be honest. These things are important, but I can't leave out being kindness, and I'll explain why. Look, at the end of the day, everybody, you know, everybody wants to be loved. Everybody wants to connect with other people, or at least a certain amount of people. And if you're not kind, those things are not going to be possible, and actually you're going to have more anxiety. And I've realised this quite a few years. I learnt this through life. A lot of people are scared to be kind. You know, they're not kind, and I understand everyone has been brought up different. Some people have been brought up in a more loving family, other people haven't. But I still don't think it's an excuse. I think deep down everyone knows how to be kind, in the same way everyone knows how to be mean. So when you're kind, you're a much stronger person. Now, I was having this conversation with one of my clients, and he was talking to me about, you know, what it means to be a man. And I said, look, I don't have all the answers, but I can share with you what I've learned and what I know, what I believe is the right way to be. And of course, I believe a man should be strong, but being kind is being strong. And a lot of the time, men think, because they take on these negative ideas that are put out there, that if I'm kind, I'm weak, but it's not the case. You try building a loving relationship with anyone, and you remove kindness, it's not going to last very long. Same in business, you know. I'm not saying this to big myself up, because I really ain't, but how my parents brought me up, my faith, that's why I've maintained longevity in the business, and even, you know, through going through changes, changing my teaching, because I'm not a perfect person, but I always try to treat people well. And that's why I get clients coming back saying, you helped me 5 years ago or 10 years ago, or you know, you don't always remember these things. And you know, at the end of the day, when we die, no one's going to remember all the fake stuff. No one's going to remember that. All they're going to remember is how you treated them, the time that they had with you. So these are the things, that's why I've said to you guys before, I never forget the people that were nice to me, like my manager at Royal Mail, teachers at school, people that I met in my life, you know, friends of family. You don't forget these things, you know. I know in the same way sometimes we don't forget when people have been unkind, but I'm telling you, it's a superpower. And if you can get into the habit of doing it more and more, obviously it's easy to be kind when you're in a good mood and things are going well. It's not as easy to be kind when it's not going your way. And I've successfully done this and failed at it. I'm just giving a point of reference. I remember in 2017, I was in a mental hospital. I was rock bottom, right? Rock bottom, and just in such a bad place. I was unwell mentally. I was really unwell. And I was sad. I was dealing with most of my emotions. I was numb, but I was so depressed. And obviously I didn't want to be in there. I was terrified. I wanted to get out. I tried to break out on the first day, but they wouldn't let me. When it got to about a week in, it wasn't a strategy. This is just pure, you know, instincts. And I believe how my parents brought me up, and it's my faith. It's always been my belief in God. You know, a friend helped me out, sent me some money because I had no money. I spent all my money, and I went and bought some food. And I bought extra food for people in the hospital. And there was one guy there. Nice guy, quite rough and ready. I mean, I can be described as rough and ready. He was really suffering with mental health, probably worse than me, and I gave him a couple of flapjacks. And he was so grateful, you know. He was so shocked. He was like almost laughing because he couldn't believe it, and it made me feel so good. And then I got on with him, and people were kind to me, so I never forgot that, and it gave me so much strength. You know, being kind to other people when life isn't always being kind to you, you don't know the strength that gives you. So number one, you should do it anyway. It's the right thing to do. And you should do it without no thought of gaining something back. But the irony is, whenever you're kind consistently, it always comes back on you. People don't forget it. And if you're kind to this person, somebody else will be kind to you. And anyone who says that's a weak man, it's ignorance, right? I can forgive them for it. I've done it myself when I was younger. I've made those mistakes. A strong man's kind. A strong man is kind. It takes a lot of strength to be kind. in all the different ways, you know, to your parents, or just having a conversation. Sometimes you don't have the money to give to someone homeless. You have a conversation with them, you can make their day, or you make a little bit of time. So listen, none of us are perfect. I'm not perfect. I don't think anyone is. But I don't think that's an excuse. I don't think that's an excuse just to go, well, I can't be kind. You can. You don't need any money to be kind. As a matter of fact, when I was broke, on benefits, on job seekers allowance, on universal credit, obviously there's times I had bad days, we all do, and I can be moody. I never stopped being kind, and I believe it's, you know, deep down that's who we are, you know, that, and without that I'm not interested in anything. If you take that away, I'm not interested in fake stuff. I'm not interested in solely money. I'm not interested in Instagram. I'm not interested in being cool. I'm not. It doesn't mean anything. When you get down to what's important in life, those things are just a little bit of fun along the way, and I have some fun with it sometimes, and I'm passionate. I like helping. But at the end of the day, your character, you know, for me, you're not successful, man, if you've got a horrible character. You're not. You could have money, you could have cars, you could have this, that. I wouldn't want it. I wouldn't want it that way. So, you know, I'm not preaching the choir, but I'm speaking on things that I've lived, and they've made such a difference. You know, I can give you so many different memories of friends, girlfriend, family, and when people have been kind to me, and I've been fortunate to have it, it can just literally, you know, it can make you cry. You never forget it. I remember during lockdown, this was the first lockdown, when everything was closing down, and you know, I wasn't working. There wasn't much money around. I was on universal credit in the first lockdown, and I was in a coffee shop. I tried to buy a coffee. They wouldn't accept cash or something like that. This guy came out of nowhere, this Irish businessman, said, "It's all right, I'll get you it." And I was like, "You sure?" I never forgot that. I don't know this man. I'm probably never going to see him again. He doesn't know me. That's kindness. He didn't have to do that. He didn't gain anything. And I thanked him. It's just all right. Stuff like that. That's character. For me, that's a champion. So it's not about what material things you got. You can be a millionaire and a really kind person. You can have no money and be a kind person. It's a choice. It's a character trait. It's having empathy. And sometimes you have to put your selfishness to one side. But it's so rewarding when you're kind, you know, you get such a good feeling out of it. So, big tangent, this will speed up overcoming social anxiety. This is something I learned on my journey. I learned this from good mentors, I learned this from my parents, I learned this from Les Brown, I learned this from my other mentor, Jeff. He was extremely a kind person, extremely a kind man, Jeff. And you don't forget it. It's long lasting. It's not, you get a like on Instagram, you feel good, you're down again. It leaves an imprint on you. And as I said, any guy, that's why I've said before, I've said on this channel, guys, be a gentleman, you know, treat women with respect, be kind. And for men who think that's weak, listen, I let them think that. I don't wish bad on anyone. They're going to have to come to realize in their own time, it's not weak, it takes a lot of strength, especially when things are not going your way. So you should be kind when things are going your way and when they're not. And I try to encourage everyone on this channel, we're all a work in progress, me too, help other people. So if that's not a motivation to get off your backside and make things happen and live a better life, I don't know what is. And if I didn't learn that, then I'm going to be stupid if I can't learn the lessons that life has continuously taught me. It's funny, I always seem to learn these strongly in times of challenge. You know, I learn in a moment, things are going very well. Obviously I've got challenges as well. And it wakes you up, you know, it can make your whole day, and I've seen the power of it. You know, practice it in your social conversations, you know. Sometimes you can solve a dispute, an argument with someone. You might think, oh, we don't like each other, there's hostility. You might be able to solve that in 5 seconds. So a strong man is kind and got a good heart. A weak man is not kind. Not kind to himself, not kind to other people. But listen, I understand if he's in that place, you know, everybody deserves a chance, I believe, because I wasn't always kind in my life at a certain stage when I was young. I was very angry because people bullied me and stuff like that. But I realised that wasn't an excuse, and it makes you miserable when you're like that, and it creates more anxiety, anger, all these things. So obviously start one step at a time, and listen, be yourself, be happy. You don't have to be, none of us are perfect. We can't meet that mark, but we can be the best person we can be. So you can apply this to business. These are the values relationships with women, getting the right woman, meeting the right woman, your family, your friends, even to yourself, everyday conversations, you practice it. Honestly, guys, your confidence will go through the roof when you consciously start being more kind. Obviously, we've got some people I've met in my life, I'm sure you have, you might be one of them. They are naturally just kind people. They're genuine. There's no agenda. They're just like that. But some people swing in and out of that, but I believe everyone can change if they want. So that's what I've learned of late. I learned it before, I learned it in the mental hospital, and I've also learned it from really good clients. I won't say the name because he wouldn't want to be named, but a good client of mine from America that has traveled all the way from America and done coaching with me loads of times. We've spent amazing time. He's such a kind human being, you know, such a kind person, and it's lovely to be around someone who's like that, who's got a good heart. And kindness doesn't always mean you have to give someone a mobile phone or a house or money. It's actually, the best kindness is just you just care about them. You know, you're sincere, you're genuine, you have empathy, you care, love the person. Or if you don't know the person, you give them some time. It goes a hell of a long way, and I keep saying it, you know. I love the gym, I love training, I like being fit, being in shape. But everyone can go gym and do that. But if you don't work on your character, you're not going to be a happy man anyway. At some point, you could have all the money, you could have all the fame. We've seen it. You guys already know. I've kind of been through my own version of it, and I'm really happy that I did. It was a humbling experience. So I hope you guys get something from that. It certainly changed my life, and it's something that I consciously practice every day. Sometimes I do it naturally. There are times, obviously, where we have bad days. Everybody does, and you just try and be your best the next day, all right? So, yeah, kindness will remove social anxiety faster. It will build confidence. People will like you, and people will respect you more. You know, no one's going to respect a bully. No one does. You may fear him for a while, but you would respect a man who's a strong man. Yep, I believe man should be strong. He should be able to be mature. You know, take responsibility in life, but you can't just eradicate the kindness, having a good heart. You know, I think that's the journey that we're all trying to get to. And some of us might have got there quicker, it's fine, no race, and then obviously maintaining that place. It certainly was a lesson for me growing up, because I was kind to begin with, because my parents were great, my faith, teachers all said that about me. I had other character flaws as well. I could be naughty and a bit disruptive, and I didn't always like authority, but you know, and as the years went on, I was reminded of it, and that's why I appreciate the kind clients that I work with. All right, I'll speak to you guys soon. Have a great day.